Pixar just released a deleted scene from Toy Story 5 that actually shows us what could have happened if Jessie reunited with Emily. And honestly, this scene could have completely changed the ending of the movie. Because if you know Toy Story 5, you know that Jessie gets one of the most emotional storylines in the movie. She spends the film dealing with her past, her connection to Emily, and trying to understand where she belongs. But Pixar actually had a version of the story where Jessie meets Emily again. And now we can finally see what that scene could have looked like, and I have a lot of thoughts. So let's break it all down. If you know Jessie's story, you know that Emily was the original owner of Jessie. And then as she got older, she outgrew her and ended up donating her. And that moment is one of the reasons Jessie has so much emotional baggage surrounding her past. So imagine being Jessie decades later and suddenly getting a chance to see Emily again. That is exactly what the deleted scene explores. And I absolutely love it, because Pixar decided to release it. The scene starts with Jessie and the other toys traveling through bushes. But then Jessie notices a kid. This is where we see something really interesting, because it's not just a random kid, it is Emily's grandchild. So Jessie basically is standing there not knowing that she's standing in front of Emily's family right now. But then Emily comes outside, and then Jessie immediately realizes who she is. And then Bullseye pulls Jessie's string. Jessie makes her classic catchphrase, which obviously gets Emily's attention. The other toys run away and hide, leaving Jessie with Emily. Emily walks over and finds Jessie. And then in that moment, we get the moment. Emily realizes it's Jessie from a long time ago. She says something like, "Oh, I thought I got rid of her." And then says, "I don't remember you having a badge, but it suits you." And honestly, this is such a sweet little moment. It's not a huge dramatic reunion where everything has to be explained. It's actually just really simple. Emily realizes it's Jessie, she remembers her, and then Jessie finally gets to be with the person she grew up with all those years ago. And just seeing Emily as a grandmother now makes this whole thing so much bigger. Here's where things get really interesting. If Pixar had kept this scene for the final movie, this would have completely changed Jessie's ending. Because you know Jessie would have not went back to Bonnie, which is super understandable. If you meet Emily, why would you leave her again? You obviously would want to stay with Emily. And so it would have changed the ending. Jessie probably would have left Bonnie to stay with Emily, which would have been a huge emotional ending. But I also think it would have created a problem, because the whole point of Toy Story 5 and Jessie's story was that Jessie needs to move forward. She keeps thinking about the past, and she's stuck in the past. And so going back to Emily is kind of like a step backwards in a way. She's going back to her past, not moving forward, not moving on. And I really like what we got in Toy Story 5 to allow Jessie to move forward, to allow her to move on. Because in Toy Story 5, Jessie finds a photo, and we learn that Emily remembered Jessie. She didn't forget about her, because Emily named her own daughter Jessie, which was huge, and it was a super emotional moment, giving Jessie that closure she really needed. Now she's not stuck in the past, and she can move on, because she knows she was important to Emily. She did matter to Emily. Emily did still love her, and she did make an impact on Emily's life. She doesn't have to go back to Emily. She doesn't have to take a step backwards. She can finally move on, shut that door, and be settled with what happened in the past. And I absolutely love what we got, so I'm actually more happy with what we got than what we didn't get. Even though I love this deleted scene, and it was a really nice surprise to get this released by Pixar and to actually see Jessie meet an older version of Emily. And yes, it was beautiful and amazing, but I'm happy with what we ended up getting. I'm happy that Jessie didn't find Emily, because I truly think she would have been now stuck in the past and just been a step backwards. Because Pixar always knows what they're doing, and they ultimately always make the right decision. So seeing this deleted scene definitely makes me appreciate Toy Story 5 just a little more. And now speaking of Toy Story 5, the movie officially is coming to digital on August 18th. So I'm definitely going to be watching it again. And you already know I'm going to be picking up my physical copies on Blu-ray and DVD when they come out. Because there's no way I'm not adding Toy Story 5 to my collection. But now I want to hear from you. Would have you preferred this deleted scene to be in the actual movie? Comment down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for all the latest movie news.